Michael thought his music was untouchable. What he didn't realize was that when a human being becomes a billion-dollar empire, they don't just become a star, they become a target.
Surgery on my scalp. There have been many disgusting statements made recently concerning allegations of improper conduct on my part. These statements about me are totally false.
Before you can understand how an empire gets destroyed, you have to understand the sheer weight of what was built. Because what Michael Jackson created wasn't just a music career, it was an absolute financial powerhouse. Think for a second today. An artist needs TikTok, Instagram, and streaming algorithms to go global. Michael conquered the entire planet without a single line of cable. Every time he stepped onto a stage, he was generating millions of dollars an hour. His latest biopic alone cracking towards $1 billion is a proof of it. Even decades later, the man remains a relentless money machine. In the early 1980s, Paul McCartney sat down for a friendly dinner with Michael and casually explained how music publishing business worked. Paul showed him how owning the copyrights to song was the ultimate way to make passive, unstoppable wealth. Michael looked the richest Beatle dead in the eye and joked, "I'm gonna buy yours." Paul laughed. He thought it was a joke. It wasn't. In 1985, Michael went behind the backs of the entire music industry, outbid every corporate billionaire in the Hollywood, and bought ATV Music Publishing for $47.5 million. With one single stroke of pen, a single black artist now legally owned the rights to 251 Beatles songs, alongside classics from Elvis Presley and Little Richard. Forbes didn't even look at him as an artist anymore. They looked at him as the most dangerous financial asset in the entertainment world. He had successfully built an impenetrable fortress. He was independent, he was wealthy beyond imagination, and he answered to absolutely nobody. But in the boardrooms of elites, a dangerous rule was about to be proven. The bigger the crown, the easier it is to spot in a sniper scope. You don't get to own the keys to the kingdom without the gatekeepers wanting them back. By the 1990s, Michael Jackson wasn't just a partner to the biggest corporate music entity on earth, he was their landlord. When Sony realized they couldn't buy him out, they did the next best thing. They forced a marriage. See, an empire is expensive to run. Between the $500,000 weekly maintenance of Neverland, astronomical shopping sprees, and mounting legal battles, Michael's liquid cash began to dry up. To fund his lifestyle, he did exactly what Wall Street banks wanted him to do. He took out massive multi-million-dollar loans. And what did he use as collateral? His half of Sony/slash ATV catalog. And that's when the trap snapped shut. The corporate strategy wasn't to beat Michael in talent show, it was to bankrupt him. Suddenly, the media coverage shifted from mocking his attitude to a relentless, coordinated demolition of his character. Every lawsuit drained his bank account, every headline chipped away his marketability. If they could break the man, they could trigger a default on the loans and force him to hand over the ultimate musical prize. They thought that they had him cornered. They thought a broken artist would just fold under the pressure. But Michael knew exactly what the game was. And instead of backing down, he decided to declare an open war against the industry itself. If you want to take down a fortress, you don't breach the walls. You find someone willing to open the gates from within. For Michael Jackson, the real tragedy wasn't that the world turned on him. It's that the people he fed, the people he trusted with his life, were the ones holding the knives. As the financial walls closed in, Michael's inner circle turned into viper's nest. Managers, lawyers, financial advisors, the very people paid to protect him realized there was more money in his downfall than in his survival. Confidential documents got leaked, backroom deals got struck. The man who revolutionized global music was being cut off from reality, one betrayal at a time. And then the mask came completely off. In 2002, Michael did the unthinkable. He went on a war with his own record label. He publicly accused Sony Music CEO Tommy Mottola of being a racist, a devil, and a corporate parasite. The accusation wasn't just personal. Michael claimed Sony was deliberately refusing to promote Invincible, his multi-million-dollar album. The logic was ruthless. If the album failed, Michael would sink deeper into debt, and debt meant one thing: he'd be forced to hand over his 50% of the Beatles' catalog to Sony. This wasn't incompetence, it was calculated financial sabotage. But the ultimate betrayal came disguised as a friend. In 2003, British journalist Martin Bashir gained unprecedented access to Michael's private life under the promise of a fair, honest portrait. What he delivered instead was a weaponized, heavily edited hit piece built for sensationalism. Living with Michael Jackson didn't just shatter Michael's public image overnight, it handed California prosecutors exactly the ammunition they had been waiting for a decade to use. Left with no allies, drowning in legal fees from a new, monstrous court battle, Michael was forced to sign predatory refinancing deals just to stay afloat. The trap was fully set. He was broke, he was defamed, and he was completely alone in his own castle. The world thought they were watching a pop star unravel, but the elite were just waiting for the final fatal blow. Every trap has a final trigger. By 2009, the financial sniper scope had Michael Jackson completely locked in. He was drowning in an estimated $500 million of debt. He had one final card to play to save his life's work, and the industry knew it. Enter AEG Live. They offered him a lifeline, a massive handshake comeback residency in London called This Is It. Initially pitched as few shows, corporate greed quickly pumped that number up to 50 grueling, back-breaking concerts. Michael was 50 years old, physically frail and mentally exhausted. But the contracts were gilded trap if he defaulted or failed to perform. The promoters had the legal right to seize his assets. Once again, his musical kingdom was held hostage. The pressure was inhumane. To keep up with exhausting rehearsals by day and combating crippling insomnia by night, Michael became dependent on cocktail of heavy sedatives, culminating in the regular use of Propofol, a powerful surgical anesthetic. He wasn't sleeping, he was being chemically knocked out just to survive the corporate countdown. On 2009, June 25, the clock finally ran out. The king of pop was dead. In the dark reality of the entertainment business, a dead icon is far more compliant than a living king. Within months of his passing, Michael Jackson became the highest earning celebrity on earth. The hysteria returned, streaming numbers exploded, and his debts were instantly wiped clean. And in 2016, the ultimate corporate objectives was finally achieved. The Sony Corporation officially bought Michael Jackson's share of Sony's ATV catalog for $750 million, decade after Paul McCartney warned him, decades after fighting off CEOs, lawsuits, and character assassination. The corporate machine finally reclaimed the keys to the kingdom. Michael Jackson didn't just leave behind a legacy of moonwalks and broken records. He left behind a warning. In the game of ultimate wealth and power, talent is just the bait. If you're still watching till the end, you are a legend. Make sure to hit that like and give a sub. Don't forget to comment down below on which artist should I cover next. And make sure to reply to every comment and listen to your feedback. See y'all in next one.